Hi, everybody.
It's Racetrack Ladies.
Why are you sounding so awake?
Yeah, if I hadn't looked at my phone, I honestly wouldn't know what today was.
It's 1:43 a.m. on Tuesday, February 28th.
For the Daytona 500 that started on Sunday, February the 26th.
It never started.
Well, yeah, it was supposed to start, then it got rained out, and then they were going to do it today at noon, and they decided maybe not, so they started it at 7 Eastern Time.
Yeah, trying to get all the rain to move out from Florida.
So I do want to say, good call, NASCAR. We appreciate the fact that you did it proactively, because that call came, I think, like at around 10:15 in the morning.
It came early enough that we knew how the day was going to progress.
Yeah.
We knew how much time we had. We weren't sitting in a parking lot.
Actually, it came earlier than that. That's right.
Talking to
No,
each other.
10:15, yeah.
Because we've done a lot of talking to each other in a very small, confined place.
So, good call, NASCAR.
Thank
I mean,
you.
so we were all still watching the weather. We weren't sure if we were still going to get rain, even though they had delayed the start time.
And in fact, it started rain. They had blown the track completely dry, and it rained. Poured down rain right before the broadcast, so they had to get out there and do it again.
And I appreciate that even though this was such a delayed start to the Daytona 500, we still had a prayer, the national anthem.
Yes.
And we had really full stands.
Yeah,
Let me tell you.
I was amazed. How many people called in sick today?
There were a lot of sick people in those stands. No, there were really a lot of people.
Well, there are a lot of sick people in the stands, but
Nancy had to go home, and I had to use an extra couple vacation hours.
Yes, but when you pay this much money to come,
I came here to see a race.
You gotta come and you gotta stay.
So the race starts,
if you can,
and we're thinking, it's taken so long to get this puppy started. We're going to race for a long time before there's a caution.
Yes, because, they had gone so many hours and had time to think about what they were going to do when they started the race.
Get a little strategy going.
Be careful. Take it easy. It's 500 miles.
Patience. Yes.
Apparently that memo wasn't copied.
No.
So apparently, So lap 2, starting lap 2.
Big wreck.
Big wreck. Takes out who? Jimmy Johnson.
Yes.
Bam, into the wall.
Yes. That was a very hard hit.
Took out Danica.
Danica.
Otherwise known as Danica. But we like Danica.
So whoever tweeted. I'm sorry.
And it might have been
whoever
a tweeted
that said that Danica would have a trifecta this weekend.
They were right.
They were right.
She could not find luck, even if it was on her windshield.
We were wondering if Saturn was on her back.
We don't know, but she had it rough.
Weekends.
But I will say this much for her, just in thinking about how she did tonight. She did come back out on the track, and she put in some good solid laps. She ran with the pack for a while, and then she's like, there's too much stuff going on there, and I do not want to influence what happens in the race.
Yes.
Right.
So she decided she'd go back to the back, even though she had a strong enough car.
Yeah, because she was running with the pack.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's versus running with the devil.
So that was the first wreck.
That was the first wreck. So then I was like, oh, that sucked. And then the next thing that happened was, because this really sucked, Jeff Gordon, all of a sudden I see this flash happen over there in turn 3 and 4.
Said, oh no, that's the 24.
And I'm like, that's Jeff. I'm like, Jeff done blowed up.
Who is that?
He blew up.
Yeah, and it wasn't a little blowed up.
Yeah.
So he was gone, and we don't know why. We don't know what happened.
All the gauges were okay.
Everything seemed to be okay, and no red lights had ever gone off. He had no indication he was having any problem.
But we could tell by the size of the fire under that car.
It was bad.
It wasn't coming back.
He said it was something in the bottom part of the engine.
He knew it was gone.
Yeah. So
okay.
So then that happened.
And so we thought that we had already hit what was going to be the exciting highlights of the race.
Because then from that point on,
it kind of settled down.
It settled down for like the next 35 laps or so. We had some sprinkles, and it wasn't so bad. But I think it was very apparent that Matt Kenseth had a very strong car. Greg Biffle had a strong car. Hamlin had a strong car.
I just want to say something.
What?
Fords, I got my eyes on you.
Yeah. They got something, and we got to figure it out.
Yeah. But they had something last year.
The Fords.
Yes, they did.
Yes.
And
they have Yates.
Yates has figured something
Hendrick
out.
Yeah.
So Hendrick's got to figure out what they figured out.
Yeah.
So we had assorted drivers dropping back, going to the forward. We had some 2-car, we had some pack, we had
And Junior said, he said, what's going to happen is that these, crazy drivers up here in the top, 20 or so, 14 or so are going to drive crazy, cause a wreck, and get a top 10 out of it. And he says the only way you're going to do good in this race is beat up front.
That's
And
right.
so that's what he did. He went up front. He said,
That's
I'm
right.
going to be up here because I'm not going to be a part of that crazy mess back there.
And that was good because he avoided all of the accidents. Well, and he
well.
avoided Elliot Sadler, which was the best thing.
Oh, Elliot.
Elliot.
What
And he avoided
up?
Ricky Stenhouse, which was another good thing.
Yeah.
I didn't understand what was going on with Elliot.
He just
And apparently neither did the other drivers.
No, and basically, well, what Junior told his spotter is, tell that team to, I don't need any favors, don't need any push
help
from
me.
them, they can stay away from me. So
Yeah.
Elliot,
it just-
you weren't making any friends out there.
No.
Yeah, so
wasn't
yeah,
good.
so we cut a couple of things, and then so then there was some caution somewhere towards I don't know 40 laps left or whatever. And
Yeah.
And we saw Montoya on the pit road getting some work done on him, and I was
And he had
listening.
been there for a little while.
Yeah, Kathy was listening.
I was
What'd
listening,
you hear?
and I was saying, what's going on? And they were like, oh, we can't figure out what's wrong. We did this. Go ahead and take it on the track, and if it, something falls off, something breaks, well, we'll deal with it.
So we're under caution. The jet blowers are out on the track, kind of cleaning up whatever junk debris may be left over. And then all of a sudden...
All of a sudden, you see out of the side of our eyes this big whoosh, fireball.
Huge explosion.
And then when that fireball was done,
There was lots of fire.
I'm telling you, in all my years of watching races, I have never, ever seen anything
Well,
like this.
because at first I'm like, what happened? And then they showed on the Jumbotron it was Juan Pablo, and I'm like, how did that happen?
Yeah,
he
and
was
I was-
just on pit road.
And I was still listening to him, and I hear them say very calmly, you need to get out of the car. You're on fire. And
Well, because
yeah,
you just collided with a vehicle that had 200 gallons of jet fuel in it.
Yeah, it was-
He crashed with the... was ironic is these jet fuel trucks that drive the track for us so we see the race. Here Montoya wrecks,
Takes one out.
takes
Oh
one
my
out.
gosh.
Causes a big explosion. The guy in the truck, thank goodness, got out.
They
although-
did take him to the hospital
Yeah,
and he
they-
checked out okay. And
But
then
still.
I saw on Twitter that Juan's helmet melted partially.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
because you think about the angle that he went in, that was the driver's side.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
boom. Yeah. Boom, boom, pow.
And what we're not understanding is how there could be so many firemen there not getting the fire out.
they were just using their fire extinguishers.
I don't know what they were putting on that fire, but
was
it just
not
kept
going
getting
on.
bigger
I don't know.
and bigger.
They
And
had
then
it-
you had the fire engines on the outside of the track that were
Shooting
trying to
over the
water.
top.
Yes, everybody was out there trying to put that fire out. And of course, they stopped the cars on the back stretch, and it was red flag. And, finally they got the fire out, but then they had a big old mess.
They had a big mess, and then there was
So-
worry about the track and all that.
So the tower let the drivers out of their cars.
Bad move.
Well, there's a porta potty back there, and
Oh.
apparently it was quite the happening spot.
Well, funny because Mr. Sean, you text me saying that Danica was went over there to go potty. I'm like, no, she didn't, because I didn't know there was a porta potty over there.
Well, Junior kept complaining, why don't they just let us go to the front stretch so we can get out of our cars and do our business?
Yeah, I'm sure he
That
said
wasn't what he
Well,
said.
He
Very
said something-
close.
He said something else, but
Yeah.
but apparently they let them out of the cars, and then they while they cleaned up the track, which took 2 hours.
And then Brad Keselowski pulls out his iPhone
And he's tweeting
and he's tweeting.
from the back stretch.
and I'm thinking, what kind of phone holder do you have in a car?
They were
Well,
asking that too.
apparently the broadcast people were talking off air that maybe
Off air.
that was not allowed. They're not supposed to have electronic things because that could kind of disturb other electronic
That's
things
right.
going on.
Or
But that's okay
enhance.
because Karma came back and bit
That's
him
right.
in the butt
Karma
later.
did come back.
Just
It
saying.
didn't damage his phone, but it damaged his car and his ego, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
Although I have to say, it was really nice when they interviewed him. He thanked all the fans for being there.
Well,
I appreciated all the drivers
and-
who thanked us for doing this.
And in
around.
return, we all did the wave.
Yes, we did several times.
What else did you do when you were waiting for 2 hours?
Yeah, it gave us something to do.
Yeah, what Nance, our sister, said, it sounded like y'all were just excited they opened up a box of Tide. No, we were doing the wave.
We were working here.
Yeah, we were
We were
working here,
working.
yeah.
Yeah, that was kind of funny. They used a box of Tide to clean off the
Several
track.
boxes.
Several
Tide,
boxes
yeah.
of time.
I'm like, that's not a NASCAR sponsor anymore, but it
it's
was.
something about how it neutralizes it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just want to know what was in those hoses because it wasn't
It wouldn't
working.
put it out, yeah. So finally we get the race started again.
Thank goodness.
But we get the race started, and I think from that point on,
It
it was
was
Matt
downhill.
Kenseth that was leading. And there wasn't anybody getting ahead of Matt Kenseth. And even
No.
though we had some late race kind of shenanigans and little accidents that happened.
Please don't call names.
It was
Shenanigans.
Yeah, it was basically Roush protecting Roush, and
Yeah, that's what it was.
And there was no. I was surprised that Harvick and Burton didn't get something together. They didn't.
Yeah.
I was surprised too. I thought they had a perfect opportunity to do something and they didn't.
And Hamlin and
He was
Junior
by
talked,
himself.
but then Hamlin, for some reason, after being strong the whole race, couldn't keep up with Junior.
Yeah.
No.
So then it came down to 3 cars, 2 Roush and 1 Chevrolet.
And
And
let's see.
Well, but
Who's gonna
I
win?
knew that when they got to turn 4, that Junior was going to give them a run for their money.
Try something.
He tried.
And he tried.
Well, at least he got second.
He got second. Yeah,
Beats my driver.
He got higher than my driver.
So,
Yep. Beats
but,
any person I was really wanting to win.
but yes, Matt Kenseth, a Roush
Zip.
Ford driver, won. And this is a guy who at the beginning of the race was having water pour
Yes.
out of his car.
He
And
was
having
shooting water.
radio problems.
We
Yeah,
thought
he
for
still
sure-
had radio problems.
We thought for sure
could
he
have
was a
that,
goner. But no, he wins
So
the
this
race.
is his second Daytona 500 win,
Yeah.
and I have seen both of them.
Yeah, me too.
I think all of us have.
Yeah. So now the Daytona 500 of 2012 has now officially seeped into 2013.
Yeah, my goodness, it's
God,
been a
we've been here
long
forever.
day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm
you-
glad we got to see the whole race.
And I want to say that the racing itself, I actually did find the racing itself to be entertaining.
Yes.
I'm not sure. I mean, it wasn't exciting from the standpoint you knew Matt Kenseth was probably going to win because he showed that he had the strongest car. But still, you had a lot of people moving around. You had comers and goers and stuff. And so I think NASCAR made some good calls on some of the changes to the cars.
Yeah, and I want to thank all of the NASCAR organization for what they did to get this race in. I know it wasn't easy. Anytime you have to coordinate, coordinating the 4 of us.
That's hard enough.
Okay? Having to coordinate an entire NASCAR race, the Daytona 500. I mean, they were under the gun for a lot of things, and I got to say, everybody stepped up.
They did good.
They really did.
Even
Yeah,
though a
and-
lot of stuff was sold out today.
Well, and I'm so glad they got rid of that 2-car tandem
Yes,
stuff.
yes.
Oh my goodness,
Yes.
I'm so happy about that.
So NASCAR, my opinion on this whole thing is I don't mind the night races. I'm not really digging having it during the week in prime time. I know you might like it, but I'm not digging that.
And we're the ones that buy the tickets.
Yeah. So just my opinion in case anybody cares.
Sunday's good. Just a fluke that got rained out this
Yeah.
time.
Saturday night
We
would be
like
better.
Saturday night better.
Saturday, okay.
Yeah, I can do Saturday night.
But
Yeah.
you know, Sunday. That's
Sunday.
Sunday.
Okay, so and on that note,
Yeah, we're tired.
we're really
going
tired.
home.
Yeah.
We're hungry.
It's
we're
about 2
tired.
o'clock in the morning and it's
Yeah.
past my bedtime.
I got to get my luggage home.
Yeah, my Samsonites. All right, y'all. Well, I guess that's all we have to say coming from Daytona.
Yeah, miss you, Nance.
Miss you,
Yeah.
Nance. Holla.
Holla.
All right.
We appreciate you joining us on our journey.
Yes, because it's been so much fun.
It's been a long journey.
Oh,
So
we-
be sure to keep checking us out.
Yes.
You never know where we're going to pop up.
We're going to pop up somewhere. You know we are.
And until next time, we'll be at the track and going green.